morning, kiddos. We're going to do lesson 98 today. Today is a little bit different. We have reading groups today, okay? So we're going to do our Think and Learn paper first. So we're going to get this paper out, but we are going to do page 60 today, okay? This is the paper you had done a couple days ago or a couple lessons ago. So you might need to pause the video and find it. Once you found it, press the play and rejoin us, okay? So we're going to review our bar graphs today. Miss Green wanted to know what kind of pets her students had at home. The children had 3 different kinds. They had dogs, cats, and birds. She made a bar graph, that's this, to show how many of each animal, so the children could see who owned and how many of each one they owned. Who owned what animal and how many they owned. She drew a blue bar for the dogs to show that 4 students have dogs. She drew a red bar to show that 5 students own a cat. She drew a green bar to show that 2 students own birds. Now, if we add them all together, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the dogs. That's 4 students. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for cats and dogs. 9 students, and then 1, 2. So 9, 10, 11. How many students did Miss Green have? 11 students. That's right. So today we are going to do a little something. How many in row 1? Okay. How many cats were in Miss Green's class? How many kiddos had cats? You are going to circle the answer. If you circled 5, you were correct. Go to row 2. What animal is the least in Miss Green's class? How many kids have cats, dogs, and birds? One of those animals is the one with the least in it. Circle it now. If you circled birds, that's correct. The birds have 2. They're the least kids with birds. Row 3. What is the animal with most? What person has the most animal? If you circled cat, you were correct. There's 5 kids with cats, so you would circle the cat. Number 4, row 4. What is the kid with the middle animal? There's not least, and it's not most, so it's in between. Circle that animal now. If you circled dogs, that's correct. 2 is the least. Dogs have 4. That's the middle because cats have 1 more. They have 5. So go ahead and put that paper to the side. And we're going to get ready for reading groups. Remember, every paper you have, you take it and write your names. So you're going to get a couple different papers. You're going to pause the video and write your names on all of those papers. And then you're going to press the play button, okay? First paper is our letters and sounds paper. You are going to write your name if you haven't already. You're going to mark all of your vowels and read the words. You're going to come down here and you're going to circle the letters that finish these words. You are going to turn your paper over because you're going to do page 103 and 104 for this. You're going to mark your vowels and draw a picture of that word up here, okay? And then on all of these teddy bears. Then you're going to come down and you're going to read the sentences and circle the correct word that goes to each sentence. So you're going to read the sentence and circle the word that finishes it, okay? That's 103 and 104. That's your letters and sounds. The next paper is writing with phonics. Write your name if you haven't already. You're going to trace row 1, which is capital little P. Trace row 2 after you've read it. Row 3, you're going to trace and write. Row 4, trace it after you read your sentence. Row 5, write your sentence. After you're done, color your picture. Row 6, page 112. You have pages 111 to 111, pages 112. Row on page 112, you're going to turn your paper over. You're not name side. Going to read row 1, trace it, write it. Read row 3, trace it and write it, and then color your picture. That is your second paper. Your next paper is your writing tablet, your K5 writing tablet. You are going to trace your L's on row 1, trace and write your L's on row 2. So 1 and 2, you trace your L's. You're only going to be doing page 15. If you'd like to do page 16, feel free to do that. It is going to be the same. So row 1 and 2 is your L's. Row 3, you're going to write and mark your vowels. You're going to write lap, lead, lip, and lot. Mark your vowels. Row 4, it's going to be kind of hard to read probably, but you're going to write lake, L-A-K-E. Mark your vowels. Lean, L-E-A-N. Mark your vowels. Load, L-O-A-D. Mark your vowels. And a lute, L-U-T-E, lute. Row 5, you're going to write it. You're going to mark your vowels and read your sentences. Circle special sounds. Row 5, Tom likes to eat. Tom likes to eat cake. Tom, T-O-M, likes, L-I-K-E-S, to, T-O, eat, E-A-T, cake, C-A-K-E. Put your period at the end. Row 6 is write your name. Remember, row 3, 4, 5, and 6, use your eraser. You don't use your eraser on the first word. First word is right next to your number, and then you do an eraser space, okay? So that's your first paper. Reading group 1 is Jackson. Jackson, you are going to get this book out right here. This is your I Learned to Read. This is number 4, okay? So you're going to get this book out, and you're going to read pages 14 and 15. Jackson, you're going to read pages 14 and 15, okay? When you're done reading, have your mommy or somebody see if we can get this book back to me, and I'll mark it with a sticker showing it's completed, okay? Reading group 2, that is Gavin, George, and Gabby. Reading group 2, Gavin, George, and Gabby. If you guys are not in the reading group that's going, continue working and listening to the video. When it's your turn to read, you're going to pause the video and read. Okay, so reading group 2, you're going to get this book out right here. I Learned to Read book 4. Okay, it's your green book with the puppy dogs on it. You're going to read pages 2. You're going to read pages 2. Point to it, say the sound, the name, sound, and picture. Read your vowels, read your words, read your vowels, read your words. Read page 3. Number 4, or the end of page 3, you're going to go to page 4. The end of 3, this bold is your title. Read the title of the story, and then you're going to turn it over, and you're going to read that, finish reading that story, okay? So that's reading group 2. Reading group 2 is pages 2, 3, and 4. If you get time or have an opportunity, we'll see if maybe we can meet up sometime, and I'll listen to you, or Sister Keach will listen to you read these books, all right? Reading group 3, that is Miss Adriana. Adriana, this book is going to be going home with you. It's your I Learned to Read 3. This is going to be attached to your booklets, okay? If your books are not home with you, they will be sent home with you. All of you should have your book except for Miss Adriana. Adriana, you're going to read your blends and the word. You're going to turn it over. You're going to read the words, your blends, and your words. And you're going to read the story on page 4, Adriana. This is the title of a story. The title of the story tells what the whole story is about. So Adriana, you're going to read pages 2, 3, and 4, and then we will work on getting this home to you, okay? When you're all done reading, we are going to move to our next page, which is our social studies. So social studies for lesson 98 has your page 107 and page 108. On this, we're going to take a trip back to Israel. Israel was that little town. Yes. This is Israel. We went and visited Sarah. Do you guys remember visiting Sarah a couple lessons ago? So today, we're going to go visit with Sarah again. Remember, Israel is on the continent of Asia. It is one of the biggest continents. In our trip, we see beautiful farmland across Israel. The Israelis have learned to make crops grow in desert areas. That's places where it's very dry and it hardly ever rains. They bring water to the fields and orchards in pipes, or known as an irrigation. And now they grow cotton,